Hello YouTube, AwaKeN FazeR here from FazeR Productions and the AwaKeN clan. What I'm bringing today is actually going to be it's going to be part of my How to Search and Destroy series, but it's going to be the first tutorial based part that I've decided to do. And this is mainly going to, this video today is just going to be sort of my idea of the perfect class for rushing. Now it's going to start with the primary weapon, which is going to be the MP7. I'm not going to go into big details between the guns, like whether you should use the MP7 over the thing because it does 47 damage and one does this damage. I don't know the damages. I haven't looked up. This is just out of personal experience of using the weapons. For me, the MP7 is the best overall machine gun for hardcore. That doesn't apply for core. For core, it's always the UMP because the damage is just huge on the UMP compared to the others. But for hardcore, MP7 is the best overall, with my setup as well. And I'm just going to run through that and explain why. For the MP7, first thing you want to do is start off with the attachments proficiency. And the reason you want attachments is because you're going to need the red dot and the silencer. The red dot because I feel you can be a bit more accurate with the red dot, rather than the iron sight. I mean, the iron sight on the MP7 is quite a good iron sight actually. It's quite a clear one. It doesn't take up too much of the screen. It's quite easy to use. But the red dot just allows you to be a bit more accurate. And for hardcore search as well, the silencer. Now the silencer plays a big part, and a lot of people don't tend to go for the silencer because there's no radar unless the people have UAV. Blah blah blah. But actually, what I'm not sure if that many people know. So if you do know this, and this is a really well-known thing, then don't start trolling with comments. I'm not sure. But what I'm saying is, and for those of you who don't know, if say you're the last guy on your team, and you fire a loud weapon, if the enemy pauses their game, when you pause the game on hardcore search, there's a map when you pause it. If you fire a loud weapon and someone on the enemy team pauses their game, you will come up as a red dot on that map. If you have a silencer, that won't happen. So if you're going for a clutch or something like that, and there's 3 guys left, and you think there's a couple around, so you just think you'll camp for a minute. If you kill someone with a loud weapon, all they've got to do is pause their game, and they're going to come straight over, and they're going to know exactly where you are. So for me, the silencer is a must, and as well, it also helps when they've got UAV and stuff like that. They're not going to see you on the radar. The red dot sight, I would always go for the Omega. Again, that's just personal preference. I tend to be more accurate with the Omega over the other sights. If you don't have the Omega, I'd go for the target dot or the multi dot or something. I don't really like these ones. They tend to fly around a bit, but I can just be a lot more accurate with the Omega. So that's really up to you. But the Omega for me, obviously, the camouflage doesn't matter. Secondary, I'd always take a launcher. I would take the RPG if I was level 80, but I'm only level 68, I think, so I've only got up to there unlocked. But the SMOR is a definite, because the SMOR, you can fire it across the whole map and it will go in a perfect straight line. So if you fire it right into, right across the map, it'll go in a perfect straight line. It's not going to, with the RPG, that sways off quite a lot. The only reason I would pick over the SMOR is purely because you get 2 rockets, but definitely the SMOR is the best option. So onto the lethal. Lethal has got to be a frag. You can take a claymore if you like. I personally don't really like claymores. C4, Bouncing Betty, they're all pretty. I mean, the throwing knife is just you have to be pretty beast with the throwing knives. So really, for me, it's between frag and Semtex. And the reason I would take a frag over a Semtex is because once you throw the frag, it has a lot longer before it explodes. The Semtex, if you try and throw it too far, it will explode in midair. The frag you can throw really far, and it has a 5-second cook time, so it will blow up. It will be able to go a lot further before it explodes, which is a plus. The tactical, I would go for the concussion grenade. As you can see there, it says temporarily disorient and slow enemies. Now the reason that's good is because if you're rushing, you throw concussion grenades ahead of you, you're going to disorient and slow the enemies that are rushing towards you, because that is the biggest enemy for a rusher, is another rusher, because if they beat you to your spot, they're going to be waiting for you. Now I will go into, in later videos actually, I will go into the main theory of rushing. I've had a lot of other commentators say this as well. The main point of rushing is not to run across the entire map as quickly as possible. It is not about that. It is to get to your point where you know you're going to find enemies and hold that point down when them enemies come, because you know they're coming. So the point is to get to that spot on the map and wait for them, pick them off, and then advance further in the map. But I will be uploading some rush gameplays as and when I get them. I play Search and Destroy a lot, and I do rush a lot, so it should be very soon. I just haven't been playing it recently, so I don't have any in my vault to put up. But the concussion for me is a definite. As well, the good thing with the concussion is you can throw it into a room if you're not sure there's a guy, and you can get a hit marker if it hits someone, so that's good. The only plus, the flash has radius, so if you throw it, it can hit people at a further range. So like if you were to throw that into a room to see if there's someone there, it can fill like most of the room, obviously depending on the size. So that would be better, but for me the concussion, I've always used stun or concussion. So for perk 1, it's got to be extreme conditioning. There is nothing else here that a rusher would need over extreme conditioning. Plus the fact if you get a pro, you can climb obstacles faster. So on a map like Seatown, if you're trying to jump the bin and climb through the window, which is a very popular rush route, you can do that a lot faster because you can climb the obstacles faster, so that's really handy as well. Perk 2, some people would argue quick draw. I don't really think quick draw is more necessary than assassin. Quick draw maybe because you can pick the weapon up faster, but the way I rush, I'm never really sprinting towards an enemy when I'm going to make a kill, so it doesn't really apply to me. I'm always sort of waiting for the enemy. I'm not camping as such, but I don't just run blindly round a corner and, you know, spray. So for me, assassin, because, you know, portable radars, thermal, heartbeat sensors, if they do get a UAV, they're not going to see you anyway. Plus, when you get the pro, your name doesn't show up, so anyone using marksman or anything like that, they're not going to see you, you know, before you can get round a corner and ridiculous stuff like that, because marksman is just crazy like that. So assassin, definitely. Third perk has got to be dead silence. Again, some people like steady aim, because if you were to use steady aim as well with quick draw, steady aim readies your weapon quicker after sprinting. So if you have steady aim, your weapon is ready, and then with quick draw you can lift your weapon quicker as well. That is like a massive plus. But dead silence is just the perk for Hardcore Search and Destroy. You know, there are so many sound halls on Hardcore Search and Destroy. I know that because I'm one myself. You know, a lot of people who play Search and Destroy, who play it well, who know what they're doing, have a Turtle Beach, have an Astro, have a Triton, have something like that. So really you need Dead Silence Pro. Plus again, no falling damage once you go pro. Again, I'm going to use Seatown as an example. When you spawn the other side, not the side where you climb through the window, when you spawn the other side, the way I like to rush, I run straight to the left hand side and jump straight down, and I don't take any falling damage, which is a massive plus for me, because I remember sometimes when I just prestige and I forgot that I didn't have dead silence, and I would jump down there and die, or just get like seriously hurt, and that's not good, obviously. So for me, that would be the best setup. And then strike package, just go for assault 357. That's all I've ever used on this game, especially for Hardcore Search. I mean, you're not going to get a 17 kill streak. I mean, well, it's possible, but it's, you know, it's not that likely. So for me, 357 is reasonable. Once you get a UAV, you know, 2 guys is not hard to get 2 guys. Once you get your pred, launch it the next round. 2 guys that are just trying to rush or leaving spawn, you've got your chopper. The only bad point of the chopper that I will say is if you launch a chopper and then you die, the chopper leaves the game. So it's, you know, it's pretty gay. But that's pretty much the setup. Death Streak, take Juiced, just because, well, just because I haven't used anything else really. I just used Juiced. And if you don't really like the, so I've just, my mind's gone blank. So if you don't really like the submachine guns, I use the exact same class of an assault rifle. If you can see, that is the exact same class, only it's with a ACR silence with kick. But apart from that, that's the best class, I think. So if there's anyone who likes a different weapon, you want me to make a class based on that, it will probably be pretty much exactly the same class as this. But if somebody likes another weapon, leave a comment in the box below, and I will put up videos for classes for people. If you could post a like, that'd be really great, just because that's really going to help me out. You know, if you don't like the video, then, you know, I'm not saying you have to like the video, you know, but you know, likes really help me out, because obviously it helps my videos get seen more than other people's, and obviously my YouTube channel is only small at the minute, so I need all the views I can get really, until my channel starts to grow. If you want to see, you know, rushing in action, if you want to see it in actual gameplays and stuff like that, then subscribe, and there will be gameplays coming up very shortly. I've actually got some gameplays of Search and Destroy up now, but they're not like tutorial based, it's just like good games that I've had, so you know, you can go across and watch those if you like. But yeah, so if you want to leave a subscribe, if you want to come and see my content, you know, I do think I can help people out a lot that play hardcore search with my tips and my strategies and stuff like that. So yeah, if you don't want to miss out, subscribe, post a like, and leave a comment on what you think. So thanks for that, guys, and I'll see you on the next episode.